Okay, fresh Undead versus fresh Elven Union. That's not necessarily great for us, because these guys have Mighty Blow. Wait, they bought 3 ghouls though. Are these actually fresh? Yeah, they are. Well, speaking of like Blood Bowl 2, Blood Bowl 3 base design, the issue is that you cannot have characters have more exaggerated designs to faster tell them apart, because they're based, and they're gonna be based, on the Games Workshop Blood Bowl models. And a portion of that is that you can swap some of the armor pieces in or out. Like, you get more pieces and faces than you can actually equip. So you are going to come up against teams where you have like 6 Black Orcs and they all look slightly different. They'll have the same body shape, but they'll all look slightly different. So there's not going to be a case of solving the issue of telling the pieces apart by exaggerating the design, because that's not something that's going to happen in the game. So how do we solve that with UI then? I didn't even... realize you could... See, this animation's now the same in Blood Bowl 2 and Blood Bowl 3. This one feels quicker though, but I think that's because we're better at controlling it. Actually. There's a setting in Rocket League where you can disable custom colors and some cosmetics of your opponent. Yeah, but that also has not a lot less of cosmetics, but they're, I don't know, I think they're into, I think it's, did they, yeah, they just done my blitzer. I'm very sad about that. No, they didn't. What do we have back here? We're fine back here. Cool. Please pass. Thank you. Cool. Neat. Okay, I just started playing and stopped actually doing the thing I said I was going to do, which is kind of... It's big... Huh. Okay, so it's raising its... Like, when they're selecting something, it's raising their hand, right? Yeah. Except in this case, like, this guy just stood up. But I think that's fine, because the stand-up animation also is like, oh, this guy's standing up. Yeah, I should have thought of that. Yeah, so they, like, they raise their hand and they make a noise. No, it didn't follow. So they raise their hand and make a noise. There's also... Are there? Okay. So, I mean, we're just gonna stand here in the back and throw balls back and forth. Right, that's it. Do all of our positionals have the same idle animation? They do, right? See, because here's both of our blitzers. Well, they're looking different ways. But those... Some of these, so maybe not. Okay, let's see if we can see what else is happening here. I think it could it be something like, because when it's just moving pieces, right? Also, these are slightly thinner, I think. It's hard to tell. Oh, it's because they don't have, like, these guys don't have the black outline around it. Biggest difference is camera angle is much lower in Blood Bowl 2. Like, it's not much lower. You can get down similar to this in Blood Bowl 3. I think it's also because it feels like you see a lot more because these elements are smaller, and this doesn't give us much information, right? But I feel like this is probably less intrusive, and you don't see every, like, there are some small icons here showing this in every other instance. Since that guy got KO'd, do I want to... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That seems like a lot of work. Let's not do that. Oh. Cool. Okay, let's see how far these guys can go. Not super duper far. Let's see, all of these have one SPP now. Yep. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Yeah, like in Blood Bowl 3 it looks cramped. Also, like, you can always... The thing I really like about the pitch here is that you can always... Like, it's easy for me to see what's going on when it comes to my opponent's injuries, because I find this much easier to read. Because in Blood Bowl 3, you have to go over and be like, oh, that's that thing, that's that thing, that's that thing. Over here, I can just have a look at a glance. I don't have to worry, like, I don't care if this guy's injured or if this guy's sent off for fouling or anything like that. I just know that he's in this box, so he's not coming back. Also, in Blood Bowl 3, you have these wedges with the team color, which is used to indicate whose turn it is. Whereas in Blood Bowl 2, you literally only have this and the fact that they have their rerolls are active, which of course goes gray when it's been used. So it's mostly this, which means that like there's less information about whose turn it is, but you have this thing and you have this thing, right? And in Blood Bowl 3, you have the wedge, you have the turn timer up here, and I think you also have a text. Oh, right, that's true. As a viewer, yeah, like, we're showing the team name of the team that's playing. Which, of course, isn't the case in Blood Bowl 3, because in Blood Bowl 3, both team names are visible at both times, I think. So it's doing a lot of, like, minor things. Like I said in Blood Bowl 3, I do like where the end turn button is, and the row they have below it, with all the information you need, right? Which is nice. And this is actually, I think, covering up slightly more space. It's just that this area is freer, which I guess feels like it's not as cramped. Because you rarely look at things up here, right? Because of the way the pitch is angled. So even if I was playing, like, say, down here, I'd be able to keep the camera angle right here and do that. Whereas I feel like in Blood Bowl 3, I'd probably be somewhere like here. I mean, I probably will be in this game as well if I need to. But can I? Cool. We're gonna keep being greedy. Well, they're probably not gonna let us push them here. And then we fell over. Let's see how. That was too greedy. It was too greedy. They're gonna get too die on the ball and it's gonna get knocked loose. Everything is also slightly transparent. I mean, I guess the gray. Oh, well, up here, yes. Also, are these? Huh. I guess we have less skills here. So it's less of an issue. The Blood Bowl 3 models somehow look less detailed and smaller than the Blood Bowl 2 models. I don't know. I think these look smaller. Like to me, off memory, I feel like the Blood Bowl 3 models look like chunkier and stouter. But that might also be because the ones we have available, most people have been playing recently, are the dwarves and black orcs. Okay, so where are we at with injuries? We have 1 KO, they have 1 KO and 1 injury. You have to run back and pick this up. Okay, that's very good. Because I need you in the back to help out. Okay, so they need to do 4 GFIs here. Okay, they're not doing that. I'm surprised. Okay, that's why they're not doing that. Yeah. I think they might have miscounted there. Ooh, good dodge. Good. Oh shit, we are murdering things. Also, thing that really helps in Blood Bowl 2, which might help later in Blood Bowl 3, is that I am so much quicker on moving these players, because I like this control scheme a lot more. But yeah, I think the stand up, like, doing a noise and raising your hand, like, does a lot for readability of the pitch. And the UI elements being clumped together more. Like, there's less stuff happening here. Have I had any more thoughts on more tabletop RPG content, like older Rogue Trader videos? Yes. Will there be more Rogue Trader videos? It's less likely. I have to find time, which is the big constraint. Like, I'm currently playing like Starfinder with coworkers, and I have other RPG stuff I do online with friends, but not like, if you're gonna make a YouTube series, people have to be on board. You actually have to yeah, you know, you have to think about how you want to schedule that and all of that. So it's trickier than I want it to be. I guess the follow-up question here is, do I think I can I stall this out for another turn? I don't think so. Maybe. They're probably going to reroll. If they... Let's see. If they don't reroll that... Oh, they did. Okay. So now they only have one reroll. I'm feeling more confident now. Gray... Right, we don't have an Apo, so we're down to 10. You rage quit Twitch. Yeah. Is Starfinder any good? Yes. I really like Starfinder. I just don't understand why there's so much clutter in Blood Bowl 3. You can toggle some of it on and off, yes. But I also don't understand, like, well, I think that's, we have to have a think. If I put this here, and I put this here, how much stuff can you get in there? Yeah. Not necessarily that much. I think we're... I think we're good. Oh, that's not necessarily great. If I can do this, I have to just feed them some more hits. Can you play Blood Bowl 3 in real time rather than turn-based? Yeah, so they're gonna get a bunch of extra blocks here, but I think we're still better off giving them 2 turns now that we're at least 1 player down, but I'm not sure. Also, look at how much. So the tackle zones here are also better because they don't have an outline and they're semi-transparent. And you can just click. Well, I was gonna say you can just click on something and it'll show tackle zones, but when there aren't any animations going on or movement, which is also a lot better than having to toggle them, at least to me. Because you click on something and then you see the tackle zones that are relevant for that player. Which feels a lot better. And I think another thing with, and this is something I think I can probably make a slightly better example of in showcasing in like Blood Bowl 3. Well, that's boring. I might as well stall out another turn now. Oh, fell over. Yes, I have 2 rerolls. I can reroll. Did we snake eye it? No. And also, this is quicker, but I think I'm fine with it because I see what's going on down here before it happens. And you don't have that with the dice log in Blood Bowl 3. Yeah, I think one of the things that are currently frustrating me about some of the the Blood Bowl 3 feedback is people are pretending And this is, I mean, I guess this is not a nice thing to say about Cyanide, but like, we've been through this before. This is admittedly worse, though. Like, the Blood Bowl 2 beta had issues, but they were not as big as the Blood Bowl 3 one has been so far. Also, it is kind of weird that you see player cards on both the left and the right side. Wait, do I have doubles voice? Surely not. Isn't this a... No, that's Dr. Safe and Friendly. Cool. I don't understand they need to change the UI each time. Just update the rules and the visuals and be done. That is not how game design works. As in, it's a new engine for, I'm sure, a bunch of reasons. And if you have the option to improve the UI, you take the option to improve the UI. Like, you have to assume, and I think it's fair to assume, that their idea to update the UI was to make it more readable, easier to understand for new players. Have they achieved that currently? No. But they've also talked a bit, well, not necessarily, but like currently the rule or the wheel, as I understand it, is not implemented to their satisfaction. It's not working how they envisioned it to work. Because it's one thing to sketch something up, and it's another thing to then have a bunch of people play and be like, I don't understand, this doesn't work for these reasons. That's also, like, I think outside of how the issues with the Blood Bowl 3 beta, if they were to do what you say, like an EA, and just update it, there'd be so many people pissed that all they did was update it. Because why can't we just keep Blood Bowl 2? So that's like, I understand where you're coming from when you're saying it, and based on how the state of the beta is, they probably would have gotten less flack for doing something like that. But you have to present a product that people want to buy, and under the assumption that they wouldn't have had these UI issues, Blood Bowl 3 at its core is presented like a product that the core Blood Bowl community would want to buy, right? So, like, those are two conversations that are not happening at the same time, right? And you can't go from, oh, people are not liking what we've done because it has a bunch of issues because of, like, this is not working as intended, we've had Corona, whatever, maybe they had some issues with, like, swapping UI designers, not agreeing on how to do certain things. I don't know. But once you've made that decision, you can't then go, well, oh, this isn't working, we're just gonna repurpose the old stuff and make everything like that, because it's probably harder to make all of this in Blood Bowl 3 than it is to just remake the whole game with, like, a new UI system. Is Blood Bowl 2020 actually improving on the previous rule set, or is it Game Store being Game Store Corp? I think it depends a lot on who you're asking. it solves certain things for certain people. Personally, I do not like the new leveling up system. I like the randomness and how fun it is to be like, oh, that guy leveled up. I get to roll and see what I get. I know that there are other people that very much dislike that type of level up system and want to have a level up system that's like more consistent, where you know like what you're gonna get. And for the people that like that type of thing, this new system is better because, you know, you can wait until you have a certain amount of SPP to get specifically the skill you want. I personally think that makes... Well, we'll see what happens, but my sneaking suspicion is that it makes for more similar teams. And I also don't like the fact that they nerfed passing, because no one really is passing much, except for elf teams, and elf teams need something to do anyways. Also, they made them more complex, which also, I don't understand why they did, but they did. Like, and once again, like, it's really hard to judge that, because I can only judge it on, you know, the rules as written. I haven't played Blood Bowl 2020 on tabletop. I've not played it in a digital format with a league that runs for like 7 weeks. And so it's hard to say. Like, the reason I fell in love with like Blood Bowl to begin with on tabletop is the team progression, and I like building teams that at the end up having a high team value. That's not what like Blood Bowl 2020 does. It has a redrafting mechanic to keep your team value lower, which also makes sense for certain things, but it's not like, and I'm still gonna play Blood Bowl, but it's not like my favorite thing about it. Like, I understand why it's there. But once again, like, we'll see when Blood Bowl 3 comes out properly, and we'll see how they solve the league. Like, there's a bunch of problems with this type of league format that CCL is running, where you just keep spinning. It definitely makes certain teams a lot better than others. It makes Bash much, much better, and high armor value. So, like, it's not a simple thing. No, there's no, like, it's not pass normalization. They literally made passing harder for the teams that do it. They made sure that if you want to pass efficiently, you have to use a thrower to do that, which means it's a lot easier to read elf plays and handoffs, because one of the strengths about elves is that the movement of the ball can be done in 2 ways, right? You can pass it or you can hand off. And what you want is you want to be able to kind of make sure that your opponent doesn't know what you're going for, so that it's easier to do a 2-turn touchdown. With a thrower, you're giving away the play too early. So it's definitely not a case of pass normalization. It's just making pass a lot worse. Can I reach that? Not really. I still have to run after it though. Yeah, but the thing that elves are good at is that they have high agility. So they should be good at that. The other teams that don't have high agility, they're good at other things. So you're punishing the team that is like what they're specialized at doing. You're punishing them for that, which is very odd. Well, I committed to going here, which I'm not necessarily... I don't really agree with anymore, so we're gonna do this instead now. It's all... I mean, it's also... another thing I thought about, which I hadn't thought about before, it's also kind of weird that there's... so passing is its own stat, but you're still using agility to pick the ball up. But yeah, so there are certain things that on paper doesn't seem super exciting about Blood Bowl 2020, but you know, we've had a lot of rules revisions, and there's always some people that are happier than others with a rules revision. This time it was me. This time it's me and my playstyle that's less happy about it. Next time it'll be someone else. Don't die, thank you. I'm surprised he didn't go over here to stop. Yeah, this has to move, otherwise it gets surfed. Wait, is the new dungeon ball good? What the heck? How did that happen? Okay, oh, okay. They rebalanced the team. So, there are now 2 sidesteppers on the ball. I was probably better off just putting one there. But let's see how they deal with it. Because they're bringing a lot of pieces back now, so they're not moving the cage forward much. Now... yeah, so... now this guy can't sidestep next to the ball anymore. Let's see what they do. Because this is a bit of a messy cage now. I also think, like, because another thing Blood Bowl 2 doesn't have is the chess clock. Which I guess could be seen as both a good and a bad thing, but I like that it's like, I think I'm conflicted about it, because part of me is like, well, I know that they have 5 seconds left, and they're not going to have anything more, which is, I mean, stressful when you're in that position, but it makes things a bit more tense. I have to stay. Well, that's helpful. Oh, that's very helpful. Oh, that's not the person that I want that should have that. Okay. Yeah, like I'm not like I think the clock right now in Blood Bowl 3 is more stressful than it otherwise would be, because it's harder to control the game and it's harder to read everything. Oh, right. That's my mistake. I was like so sure that it was a blitzer holding it, so I was like, ooh, I get sidestepped somewhere. That was an excellent scatter for them. The timer also increases the skill ceiling? I don't think that's true. Not like... not for Blood Bowl, really, because it's... Compared to chess, where... You know, you want to think through your turns and you think ahead. You can't really do that as much in Blood Bowl, because there's so many more random factors than there are in chess. There are no random factors in chess. I'm not saying the chess clock is bad. I'm just saying I think it speeds up game. I don't think it increases the skill ceiling any. Because if you can't deal with doing like 2-minute turns in CCL, then you sure as hell can't deal with 2-minute turns plus the chess clock in Blood Bowl 3. Oh, that's good. That's bad. Stop injuring my dudes. Wow, I have a lot of dudes out. Okay, let's get this ball done, shall we? No. Well, that is not that good. No. You like the idea of a time bank for Blood Bowl? 7 minutes is way too generous. I think the problem I have with the time bank right now is that it's for a full game rather than a half. Which makes it like I was really confused about that at the start. Like I'm not against the time bank. You know, it is what it is. It's a solution to a problem, and it's a kinder a solution than just having 2 minutes. Neat. Wow. I shall go here. I mean, I also don't think we should talk about how it raises or lowers or whatever skill ceiling or skill floor, because, you know, we don't really know at this point, and wow. But I mean, we can speculate, and that's fun. That's also about all we can do. One, two, three. Okay, so we can do that. Oh, I don't want that to happen. Thank you. Oh, but wait a minute. I can do this. Thanks. See you later, Walting Studio. Okay, so they have 3 turns to move it. It's still very doable. They have a free goal now. Our blitzers have been doing a lot of work, which is nice. Also, side note, by the way, I've seen a lot of people not be happy about the fact that the clock doesn't stop when, in Blood Bowl 3 specifically, when animations are running, and that's why, you know, 2 minutes feel a lot faster in Blood Bowl 3 than in Blood Bowl 2, which is because they are. Or other, you know, you don't get as many pauses to the timer. Oof, that's gonna be the reroll, I think. Otherwise they can't do this. Or maybe, well, in theory they still can, but... what was I going to say after that? Yes, so... and that some, you know, some teams are faster than others and whatnot. That's actually not the case. And by that I mean... The teams all run at the same speed, even if they're slow. Or like... someone that has movement 7 takes the same amount of time to get to 7 squares as someone who has movement 5. It's only to take someone with movement 5 to get to through 5 squares. I think that's how it works. So that's neat. And also partially unrelated to this. Right. So, let's see here. If we... Oh, that's not what we want. Can I get... I have to do this instead then. Do I dare to do the... Because if I go here, then yeah. I do think I have to do this. No, we're fine. We're not where we want to be, but we're fine. How much has Thursday earned from Twitch? It's a good question. Right now she's not earning anything because she's, I think, asleep under the covers. If I can share an opinion about Blood 3, it's the eye-killing HUD. Yeah, it's the same opinion that everyone else has at the moment. These colors are also a lot more muted, right? Like, I feel like... I wonder if it's true that, like, this white is about the white that all of the other... Like, that's the white in Blood Bowl 2. Because even this is not a pure white, right? This is a yellowish white. This is... Oh, wow. We're gonna run and score straight away. So I want the SPP. Yeah, I think it's the contrast that's kind of like messing it up, because even when I lowered the brightness on Wednesday, and it still looked like, it didn't look like mellow enough. It was still really contrasty. Oh, when I talked about the color white, I had a positional white selected. I think one of the other things with like the circle, right? I think the circle is one of those design elements, or the, like, with the block dice, it's one of those design elements that could in theory work if you were locked into the same depth of the camera at all times, but you're not. So like, if we were like down here and they threw some dice, right? Maybe it was clear on... Well, we wouldn't be down here. It's not going to be this camera. But imagine we were even closer, right? You'd be like, oh, look, they're specifically in the circle and we can see everything that's happening. But that's not the case when because the circle is always covering the 3D elements of the dice as well. And since the dice are specifically the Games Workshop dice, they're also not colored, which I just realized. This is what makes this so much easier to read as well, because you're like, oh, blue, that's a push. Yellow, that's a pound. Skull both down, that's dangerous. But those colors makes it easier, and we don't even have those colors on the wheel where you pick the results, right? So there are a lot of things that are like missing that helps Blood Bowl 2 out a lot. Yeah, they will have, like, my assumption is that you're gonna be able to either buy or unlock or something all of the released Blood Bowl dice that Games Workshop has come out with. But they all look the same. They're just, the dice base color is different. And also, even then, like for example, the Nurgle dice are super hard to read. The physical dice as well. But yeah, I think it's definitely, and I think that's why the reasoning for the dice to pop up on the wheel is because they can't really, with the plan they have for, you know, getting different dice sets into the game, they need to have a way to, so that everyone, if someone hasn't seen the dice before, you don't want to accidentally pick the wrong result because you don't recognize the die face, right? So you have to have some generic die icon somewhere, or I'm guessing that's the reasoning. There needs to be some type of generic dice that you can pick from, but that's just, you're just making it harder for yourself. Ooh, money. 6 armor breaks, 15 armor breaks, and only 1 dead dude. 26 blocks, 40 blocks, 2 KOs, 2 injuries, 2 KOs, 3 injuries. I'm pretty sure we rolled really, really well. Oh, apparently our armor was shit, and I didn't even notice. Our injury was okay, though. Our wake up was decent. Our dodging was fine. Our catch was poor, but okay. Because I think we failed these on our catchers. GFIs was slightly poor. Our pick was excellent. Our pass was good. And our casualty was okay. We rolled pretty even. There's some poor dodging over here. Some excellent pickups. Some excellent armor. Great catching. Average GFIs. Injuries were bad. Wake up after KO was average. Pass was good. Casualty was poor. And regen worked half of the time. So roll really high, which is probably why we were lucky enough to get injuries. Let's have a look at the block dice. Lots of pushes more than anything else. So that's probably what saved us. We rolled a lot of defender stumbles and not so many. We did not roll many pushes is the answer. And I also didn't realize we rolled that many skulls because I didn't feel like we had that many turnovers, right? So, we lost Grey, which means we can either rebuy Grey, which I don't think we're going to do. Instead, we're going to buy an Apo and be happy with that, because we have skills on all of the things we want to have skills on. And we'll get a loner that'll get it hit. So that'll be that.